I heard about this whole topic from you, Vinny. You brought it up to me like a few months ago, and obviously I went down the rabbit hole. I got the book, The Committee of 300, and within this book's written from a former British intelligence officer from MI6. He was appalled at the stuff that they were making him do. He was doing missions for the U.S., for the U.K., and he's like, I don't understand why they're making us do these things. So who are the forces that are pulling the strings for the United States and the United Kingdom? So he goes to the British Museum of books, and it's like the finest repository of information in the world, he says, and he spends 20 years researching the topic of who runs the world, and finds the answers to it in this book called The Committee of 300.
And you can't. This book isn't on Amazon or anything.
It's very difficult to get, and for that reason, I started my own secret society.
Beautiful.
That you just announced to the internet.
Yeah. So guys, hey guys,
One secret
it's
society.
it's like the Secret Service. It's like, bro, we see you guys. You're not a secret.
So we'll put the link for that in Telegram if you guys want to join. I'm going to go through books like this every month because they're literally trying to erase certain books like this from existence. But one of the most compelling things I found in this book is he outlines the 21 steps that they're using to try to create a one world government, and it outlines the goals, and it makes sense of the things we're seeing in the world today because you see something like what's going on in the UK, you're like, all right, this doesn't make sense, but you read this stuff, it does make sense. So
and Brendan, so basically this committee of 300, is it people or organizations?
People.
So it's people that are still alive?
Some of them are still alive. Some of them are dead. This book was written in 1992, but there's always been a committee of around 300 people, and he calls them the black nobility because, yes.
Why? Because they're dark?
No.
Not dark. No, not skin. I mean like the souls. Yeah, not. I love it.
Well,
wait. They can clip every single one of these and cancel. They can cancel me and Rob from the gay sex to this to why? Because they're dark. I meant like they're dark people, like their souls.
Yeah, very.
Oh, okay.
So there's no line they won't cross. So they're responsible for all the opium that flooded into China. So they've been drug dealers.
Oh,
they caused sicknesses, famines, any nasty thing you could imagine.
So this is the day.
But
So
they're
Brandon,
trillionaires, though.
So when people talk about they, this is the
I think this is the ultimate that.
Okay.
But they're trillionaires, though. They're literally trillionaires that we don't know about. So at the time the guy wrote this book, he said these people make the Rockefeller family look like they're in poverty.
Oh,
What?
Yeah.
All right, so Brandon, what are you going to show us some stuff?
Yes, 21 steps. I'm going to run through this real quick.
All right, guys, let them go.
Big thank you to Kelly for setting it up. She was appalled when I said 21 slides. So first, to take control of the education system in America with the intent and purpose of utterly destroying it. So
they're winning.
Yes, check for that. You can see right there, that's the number of private schools in America. So when you have less private schools, when you have more government schools.
Public school. Got it.
Yep.
Shitty.
Government's controlled by they.
Got it.
Number 20.
You guys, just stay on these slides. Brandon will just go through them. Go for it.
Organize a worldwide terrorist apparatus and negotiate with terrorists whenever terrorist activities take place. So you could make an argument. Maybe we've done that. Like Obama created ISIS. We let the Taliban do their thing. You could call it Antifa.
Good one.
Let's go next. Penetrate and subvert all governments and work from within them to destroy the sovereign integrity of nations represented by them. So when governments are doing things that don't seem to be in their best interest, I think we've seen some of that.
Weird. Yeah, I agree with that one.
To give the fullest support to institutions such as the United Nations, the International Monetary Fund, the Bank of International Settlements, the WHO, et cetera, et cetera. I think you could say we've done that.
We've done that 1,000%. Good job. Good job, committee.
17, to take control of all foreign and domestic policies of the United States.
Bingo. They've done that.
Yep. 16, to cause a total collapse of the world's economies and engender total political chaos. So we're in the process.
We're almost there. We're about to crash.
Yeah.
Look at what just happened to the yen a couple days ago.
Bye-bye.
All the debt to GDP ratios. Why are we taking out trillions of dollars in debt to probably destroy it? And
Yep.
And implementation of the CBDC as well. All of these things.
Oh yeah.
I
think that might be in here or something.
Oh.
15, to export religious liberation ideas around the world and to undermine all existing religions.
Close.
Getting there. 14, to press the spread of religious cults.
LGBT.
Yes, exactly.
One of them.
Exactly. 13, to strengthen the Zionist state of Israel through identifying with the Jews through the myth of God, quote, God's chosen people, and by donating very substantial amounts of money to what they mistakenly believe is a religious cause in the furtherance of Christianity.
Okay,
I'm gonna go home because I'm gonna get this show canceled if we keep talking.
Yeah, no, dude, this is a bingo. That's a hit.
Yeah.
Okay.
100%. 12, to introduce new cults and continue to boost those already functioning. So, we've seen all the MK Ultra cults. Keep in mind, this is in the 90s.
Of course.
Number 11, to confuse and demoralize the population by means of one created crisis after another.
Oh, monkeypox is coming back.
Yep.
That's another one, another
COVID,
crisis.
Financial crisis.
Every crisis.
Yep. This one, to demoralize the workers in the labor class by creating mass unemployment. So on the left there, that graph shows the estimated welfare spending for 2023 is around $1 trillion.
Jeez.
And then on the right, that's the graph of welfare spending in the U.S. over time. So, being on welfare really kind of like...
Wow.
Yeah.
How did that explode? What is that, 90? So is that 85 to 90 is when it takes off?
Yeah, so more so after the 70s or 60s, 70s, but yeah.
But
Well, okay,
that spike.
Those spikes. I see what you're
Those
saying.
spikes mirrored across all spending. That's in 1985.
Okay.
So it's kind of like after each financial crisis, it really takes off because the 2005 spike is after '08, it looks like. But this really all started getting off control with two big things. So first it was the New Deal from FDR, then it was the Civil Rights Bill from LBJ, and that really started funding the welfare state. But it's like removing the soul from people.
That's what they're doing. That's exactly. It's called demoralizing. That's it.
Just enough to get by.
Yep. Go ahead, Brendan.
Number 9, the death of 3 billion people from war, poverty, and disease. And interesting it says that because Georgia Guidestones say something pretty similar to that. And, Klaus Schwab and all these people constantly say how we're overpopulated by a couple billion people.
Bill Gates has said it multiple times, and I think people need to start listening.
Number 8, the suppression of all scientific development, just like we were just talking about in the 1952 Invention Secrecy Act. There's 6,000 patents that are suppressed, hidden from us, with all these clean energy techniques. When these people talk about how we're polluting the planet, climate change, blah blah blah. We need to give billions of dollars to solar panels, but we have this technology that's more efficient, more powerful than solar panels, and we're hiding it.
Yep, I agree.
Can't be monetized.
Number 7, the depopulation of large cities.
Happening all across the country.
Yep. 6, legalizing drugs and porn. So this chart right here is a chart of methadone clinics in the U.S. from 2007 to 2020. So legal drugs, like we were just talking about before, actually.
Can you show that chart? Can you show that chart? Look at that thing.
Yeah, it's almost doubled since 2007 to 2020.
Jeez. Look at that, from 2019 to 2000. Damn.
Yeah.
And it dipped.
Yeah, I think that was just because of the lack of access in 2020.
Gotcha. Of course, it's the
And
pandemic.
look how normalized the sex work industry has become. Like that was such a taboo industry when I was like in high school, like just as I started to come into adulthood, and now girls 17 turning 18 are planning their OnlyFans.
Oh, of
Oh, it's
course.
crazy. There
So-
was an Olympian gal that had her OnlyFans account, and I believe she was plugging it during the ceremony. And I'm like, this is like just everybody's out
Yeah.
there showing their boobs.
Yeah,
now.
she's like, hey, I won this bronze medal. Tune into my OnlyFans. I'm going to shove it on my ass.
I would watch
No,
that.
yeah. All right, go ahead, Brandon. Keep going.
All right, so these are some porn. These are some porn stats. So 4%
Stats.
of all.
That's
Stories.
this guy.
How you use
Pornography.
Tits.
Pornography.
Oh shit.
Go ahead.
So 20% of all mobile web searches are for porn. 13% of all internet searches are for porn, and 4% of all websites are pornography websites. Percentage of men using porn weekly, 87%. Percentage of women, 28%.
Hey.
Yeah.
No idea.
Hey, girls. I actually stopped a long time ago, which I makes me feel
Good for
great.
you.
One.
Thank you.
So the number 5, this one pisses me off the most probably. It's an end to all industrialization and the production of nuclear generated power. So this chart shows manufacturing share of U.S. Employment plummeted from 1947 to 2015, went from like 35% to 9%. That's intentional. Next.
Okay, go to the next one. Good job.
Share of manufacturing share as nominal GDP plummeting. So, we're not building things here, and we're dependent on other countries to build things.
Okay.
Go next.
The next.
And then, so this.
The number's not changing on the.
Oh yeah, that's okay.
Oh, it's okay.
Yeah. This is actually orderable, so I'll show the other ones after. So this shows the number of operational nuclear reactors worldwide. So why is it flatlined over the last 10 years? A ton of them were being built, and then nothing worldwide. Watch how powerful nuclear is compared to everything else. Go to the next one. So this is the cleanest sources of energy. It's measured in carbon emissions. So you could see things like coal, oil, natural gas. Those are all the black ones. That's how much CO2 it emits. And then look, solar.
Green?
No, go back.
Go back. Nuclear's 3.
Yeah, nuclear is the lowest and cleanest one.
cleanest.
Wow.
It's the
And why don't they want to do it?
exactly, and then boom.
Wait, nuclear's cleaner than wind.
And solar, and then look how much more powerful it is in this next one. So this is capacity factor by energy source. Capacity factor means the percentage of time it's able to be in operation. Nuclear, 92% of the time it's able to operate. So and then solar, wind, all the way down at 35 and 24%.
Well, think how they want
So
us
it's
to
more
run.
powerful and cleaner than anything else.
And I don't know if you guys have been paying attention. It's very interesting because I have family that still resides in New Jersey, and we live on a small beach town my entire life. And they are talking about putting these windmill farms like miles out, but you'd still be able to see them from the beach. And they started doing testing, and I believe that they started putting the windmills in. But what was happening was the weird ways that the windmills were reacting with animals' sonar. So that dead whales were washing up on the beach, dolphins are washing up on the beaches at a rapid pace they've never seen before.
And if you look at the studies into that, all the scientific institutions say it's not happening. They say there are no dead whales. It's not throwing off their migration patterns. They're not they are causing pods of whales to beach themselves with the vibrations coming off the windmills. But they're just denying that it's happening because that's how committed they are to the green energy agenda.
So it's not only not efficient, but it's also now murdering marine life.
Yeah. It's not reliable, expensive, not efficient, not powerful.
Look at how unreliable it is. Like, because when there's no wind, the turbines aren't turning and the lights are off. Solar. Okay, what happens at night? There's no way to store solar energy. So anytime it's not daytime anymore, no more power for anybody. They can't figure that out. Nuclear energy, according to this chart, can function 92% of the time, which solves all the problems.
So what's the pushback? Fukushima, 3 Mile Island, 2 incidents.
Yeah.
I get that they were bad.
So don't
Compared to other things that have
don't
happened.
put your-
Compared to
About
all
the
this stuff?
cost. Sometimes you gotta crack a few eggs to make a fucking omelet.
But
Tell
so-
'em, Rob.
Yeah,
there's
thank you.
there's a lot of people that think those things are setups too, because these people hate nuclear energy because their whole thing is they don't want third world countries to develop. They're dependent on being able to get foreign aid to those countries and create these debt traps for them. So their whole money making machine is to be able to put these countries in poverty. Because if they had nuclear energy, they would be able to get themselves out of poverty. Energy is the economy; it goes hand in hand.
And-
You're limited on growth on how much energy you have.
One of the things you could accomplish with large-scale nuclear energy also is massive desalination or desalination projects,
Yep.
where you could basically that's the thing that stops desalinating seawater,
What does that mean?
getting the salt
salt.
out of it.
Oh,
You could
okay.
convert the oceans into drinkable water if you had enough energy to power the plants to
So
do
wouldn't
it.
that solve the whole issue about climate change?
Yes.
Okay, as far as the flooding goes,
Yes.
I know
Yeah.
it's not going to fix the ozone layer or whatever they say it does, but that would
Nuclear would,
solve the flooding issue. We live in South Florida. We see if it sprinkles, the parking lots flood.
Yeah.
So that would definitely be a solution
Yeah.
to some of that issue.
But there's also think of what you could do for the entire continent of Africa if you were able to build these plants all along.
but I'm more worried
and
about
pump
my
seawater
Hyundai in
in.
Miami
Yes.
that's flooded. I'll be
Yeah.
honest.
But I'm saying it solves the problem of clean drinking water for the planet essentially, because right now
Yeah.
the main hang up is there's not enough energy to do it. If everything went nuclear, you could do that and more.
Same thing with vertical farming. The biggest holdup to that is the energy consumption.
How come
But
Trump doesn't get behind it then? Because he's drill baby drill.
I don't
so
think
it's
he
still oil.
I don't think he understands it, to be honest. 'cause
And I think Elon tried to explain it
Yeah.
to him, but the way that it kind of did come off, and I'm not one of the guys that reads MSNBC and recites their headlines, but when he was like, well, Nagasaki, not that big of a deal. But that's kind of like, hey, dude, that a lot of hundreds of thousands of people died.
Well, that's what I mean is I don't think he understands it, because Elon was trying to talk about energy, and then Trump goes and talks about us bombing Nagasaki, right? So I don't even think they were on the same page there.
Okay.
And when Trump, I saw him asked about nuclear once, and he's like, yeah, nuclear is great. I'm for nuclear, but we need to drill, baby, drill.
Because think about who's involved. Back to Brandon's pipeline of all these people who are involved. Oil companies, the people who run the energy sector that according to this, subscribe to the Committee of 300's agenda, where they don't want nuclear, but they're making a ton of money off of oil. So, whether it's someone like Trump or someone on the Democratic side, whether you're pro-oil companies or anti-oil companies, nobody's pro-nuclear.
Yeah.
So that's why we're screwed, essentially.
So above nuclear would be free energy.
Yeah,
Like, that's the best.
That's the stuff that Greer talks about. Like
Yeah.
that's the extra hidden stuff, like 0 point energy, which is just like becomes like Star Wars, because there's energy all around us, like the particles like around us constantly. We could generate energy from that, apparently, according to the stuff that they're hiding in that 1952 Venture Secrecy Act. But with even disregarding that, nuclear is far superior to anything we're using, and they're suppressing the hell out of it. So this chart shows the amount of nuclear reactors that have been built in the U.S. from 1970 to today. So a bunch of them built from 97 or from 70 till 90, then nothing from 1990 to 2000.
Literally nothing.
Yeah.
Damn. 2015.
So how the hell do you explain that except for massively powerful forces stopping it from happening?
Yeah.
Jeez.
And then we're spending $200 billion on solar panels per year.
That chart looks exactly like my sex
This-
life with my wife. If it was a chart, pre-marriage, and then we get married, and then it's
So
birthday, anniversary, birthday. That's depressing.
This pisses me off so much because, like, people as a species, right, who are inhabiting this earth, we should care about this earth and making it better and caring for the environment. But the left has taken that noble cause and they've completely weaponized it. They've built an agenda into it, and now anything that they purport to do good is actually doing the opposite and causing more harm and costing more money.
Well, think how they
1000%.
fearmonger with Chernobyl, Fukushima, 5 Mile Island.
Of course.
They throw these disasters. Okay, Chernobyl was caused by letting incompetent communists run a nuclear reactor. Fukushima was caused because you built a nuclear reactor along a fault line in a tsunami zone.
Idiot.
If you can avoid those things, you pretty much avoid the catastrophic failures.
Yeah,
Right,
Brandon.
right.
So Brandon, this is because I want
Yes.
to wrap up with your.
Got you. So
Yeah,
number
go.
4, control each and every person through means of mind control.
That's okay. Winning.
Yeah.
They're winning with that.
Operation
Everybody's-
Mockingbird.
Predictive programming.
Neuralink. Exactly.
My cell phone.
Number 3, the destruction of religion, especially Christianity.
Look at that downfall. Look
Yeah.
at that.
From youth that are likely to become or remain Christian in America from 90% in 1990 to 65% today.
Wow, that's a decline.
Yes. And number 2, the destruction of all national identity and national pride. So
Of course. Wait. If you have a flag, you're racist. You're a Hitler. You're a Nazi. You're a nationalist. You're this. You're that.
yeah.
It's working. By the way, everything you said so far is working. Go ahead.
And look, these show national pride by generation. So the gray is, I think, 55 and older. Then the dark blue is 35 through 55, and then the light blue is 18 through 35.
Not proud at all.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
So older people are proud, younger people are less proud. And then number 1, a one world government and one world monetary system. And these charts show the percentage of central banks around the world that
Can
are.
you see that one on the right? Sorry.
What's up?
No, I want them. Okay, there you go.
Oh yeah. So on the left, it's the percentage of central banks around the world actively working on CBDC, and then on the right, it's the degree to which they're working on it. So it's research, pilot, experimenting. So this is like 98% of global GDP that's actively working on CBDC, which will be a one world monetary system if they accomplish it, if we let them do it.
Why does it seem like it upticks? It starts in 2017. Is that 2017 at the
Yep.
bottom?
Yeah.
Why then?
Because like they've been working on it for a long time. We just started hearing about it like 2 or 3 years ago.
So okay, so this has been going on pre-2007.
Yeah.
There's just not a lot of information about the foundation or the origins of it.
I remember when I first started getting into conspiracy theories, like when I was really young, like maybe 15, 16, I heard that the goal was like a one world currency, a one world government. But at the time, I just don't think we really had the technology available for blockchain to then go out and create central bank digital currencies. But like, wasn't that always the goal? Like,
Even
how
the
old is
Bible
this-
says it.
How old is this book?
92.
Okay, cool. Yeah. So this is something that they've been working on for a really long time.
Oh.
It sounds like with the advent of technology, they've really been able to kind of speed up the process.
And it's slowly but
Yeah.
surely. I think we talked about this, Brandon. They don't jump to like the putting a chip in everybody's body. They go far, they get kind of caught, and they retract.
Yeah.
And then the next 2 years they'll go. Dude, it's such a.
Feeling you out, seeing what you're responsible
They
for.
exactly because
Like
now people are getting.
COVID was the perfect dry run of will people accept large-scale lockdowns? Will they stay in their homes
That
when
was
we
all-
tell them? Will they engage in completely illegal voting systems that we've written on the fly
Yep.
just to get them
And
too
guess what?
afraid to actually
Success.
do it?
And then it was
successful.
successful.
You know what I've
100%
noticed
successful.
They've been doing lately too is they've been dropping retarded, unbelievable news stories that like they wouldn't expect anybody to actually believe, but seeing if we swallow it. So like yesterday, that thing comes out about drunk guys bombing the Nord Stream pipeline from the Wall Street Journal. Like, you expect us to believe that bullshit?
Yeah, it was Zelensky, 100%.
Or the CIA, but
Well, the CIA, but how about anything to make Russia look bad? The moment that happened and people said it was Putin, I go, guys, stop with this nonsense. Why would he blow up his own freaking pipeline? You guys are idiots.
yeah, but they expect us to believe that, and
Yeah.
I think that's an experiment to see how much we're willing to swallow and
Oh,
tolerate.
but guys, because the average American isn't like this.
No.
They're not getting this information. They're not, doing stories. They're not researching stories. They're not, Rob, just between you four, all right, Nat, Kelly, all these people, they have to do so much research for the stories, for Pat, for you and the BizDoc, for all this type of stuff. We're connected. The average American doesn't know shit. Nothing. It's whatever they turn on, and they're watching CNN at the airport. CNN at the airport. CNN. It's a mind control, psyop brain, and they're getting it all the time. Well, you got something on your mind, Rob?
It's funny you say this, because I was prepping and reading last night, and but I had a comedy show, and I was watching from the outside. I was watching the people watch the comedian on stage laughing and not really worried about life. They were just enjoying the comedy show. And it made me think, like, do these people understand what's going on in the world around them? Because if they were, they would not be enjoying what's going on right now. And so to me, I sat there and I go, would I rather be in my shoes out here reading about this and trying to figure out how to stop what's happening, or at least provide a conversation about it so we can figure out a solution? Or would I rather be one of those people with my head in the sand, just living life happy, having no idea about the globalist agenda that's going on around me?
That's the blue pill, red pill discussion.
And the problem is, Vinny, Pat's talked about this. Once you start reading, once you start going down that rabbit hole, there is no going back.
There, you can't.
It's done.
Yeah,
the cat is out of the bag, and you can't stuff it.
Yeah, you're
I
right.
mean, that's why I really appreciate comedians like Tim Dillon and Dave Smith and all of these people who insert a little bit of like political messaging inside of their comedy. It makes it so much more palatable and really opens up people's minds to these different things. For me personally, comedy is my escape. Like I watch comedy to forget for a second about all of the craziness that's going on in the world.
Maybe that's my problem. My escape is 9/11, Vinny.
Yeah.
It just gets darker.
Maybe that's it, Rob.
Is that it, Brandon?
Yeah, we just had this last
chart?
shows
Before we wrap
so
up?
red means it's completed, yellow means it's in progress, green means not completed yet. So these are all the steps along the way. So
Oh, snap. So green's good?
green means it hasn't been accomplished yet.
And what's red's accomplished?
Yes.
I mean, it looks like, guys.
Oh shit, that's bad.
They look like.
Yeah.
I thought it was the other way. I thought green
Yeah.
was not or green was a
green's
go
good.
and red was bad.
Yeah. Oh, man. Well,
Oh fuck.
But it's all reversible though. But we just need a good, I think 7 to 10% of the population to be aware and on alert and resisting this.
Yeah.
Right now it's probably like 1%.
yeah.
Well, look at one of the main through lines that came up in so many of those points, Brandon. What did they say they were trying to undermine? They're trying to undermine religion. They're trying to undermine Christianity. Like there is something about that is very important. Like why is that the one they single out that they're most afraid of?
Right.
And
Truth.
yeah, you could have all sorts of religious debates about it, and I'm gonna have a take on it as a Christian that is obviously different from somebody who's not. But there's a reason that people who control the world want to undermine Christianity first, and there's a reason why they get away with it. Why can you have an Olympics opening ceremony that mocks and belittles Christianity when if you had a drag queen dressed as Mohammed, there'd
over.
be people getting their heads cut off in the street.
That place
the
would
next
have been
day.
bombed in 2
Exactly.
seconds.
They're afraid of it, and that's why it's the target, and that's why they've made the most progress on it, because the church is not willing to stand up and fight anymore because they've gotten in and undermined it with a message of weakness and surrender, where you're no longer supposed to take pride in your country, you're no longer supposed to stand up for things. It's all about tolerance. Patrick talks all the time about how the group he hates, one of the people groups he hates most is weak, tolerant Christians who no longer are willing to stand up for what's right. If you want to push back on this, part of that begins in the church. Part of that begins with faith and religious communities standing up and saying enough is enough. We're not going to take this anymore.
Yep, and I agree. And it's funny that you said the word pride. You have to have pride in your. I'm proud that I'm a Christian, and guess what? I'm proud that I'm a freaking American, big time. You can't have that anymore. You have to be a Pride Month, and you have to be in the street with your penis out in front of children. That's what the country is to be proud of. Like, besides the month, 145 days out of the year of pushing it. Guys, it's an agenda. Brandon, thank you so much for explaining it. Brandon, what's going to be your thing?
Yeah, so it's the Forbidden Book Society on Telegram. We'll drop
Telegram. We'll put the link in there, guys. What's up, everybody? Vincent O'Shawn here. If you want to see me and the entire Valuetainment crew, we will be at the Vault Conference September 4th through the 7th at the Palm Beach Convention Center, hosted by none other than Patrick Bet-David and featuring Dwayne The Rock Johnson. Guys, this is the place to be. If you are an entrepreneur and you want to level up, do not miss this opportunity. This is the best place to network. If you want tickets, go to thevaultconference.com. Do not waste time. This thing is going to sell out, and I will see you guys there. Peace and love. So if you like this clip, click right here. And if you want to see more like it, click right here. Stay angry, Patriots.